Hey everybody, welcome to this episode of the Disc Golf Answer Man. I am Bobby Cool, Daddy Slick Breeze, and this is a special episode. I've got two special guests. I have with me right to the right of me, I have Jeremy Rusco. Of course, you know him as CEO and founder of Dynamic Discs, an all-around cool guy. Sometimes.
Cool guy.
Cool guy.
That's my favorite title.
That's your favorite title.
Yeah.
And then next to him, we have Tyler Searle. He's one of our RV drivers, extraordinary gentleman, Mr. Healthy and fit and working out all the time. He'll post videos. He's doing an event in someplace, Arkansas, and before he gets out and gets his event, he'll be out running a mile or two, throwing discs and stuff like that.
Favorite thing to do on the road.
So I think it's awesome.
All right, we got to tell everybody what Bobby cares about. We're in the middle of a kind of a disc golf friend group health challenge right now.
Yes.
So it's definitely in the front of our minds. I don't believe that you would probably generally introduce me as the health guy.
The health guy.
Since I'm sitting next to a health guy, like way more strict than I am.
Ty wakes up at 3:30 in the morning and does his I love dynamic discs and disc golf push-ups.
Yeah.
That's it.
His-
And then runs 2 miles.
I did run
beach
2 miles
body.
in my brother's basement this morning.
Oh,
so
you're kidding me.
I did.
Are you doing the P90 thing too still? Or?
We're going to start a program called Body Beast after the new year of Jamie and I, which
Nice.
is, it's easier for me to do on the road. It's just weight-based. It's not, I don't have to worry about trying to do burpees in the RV. It's kind of hard to do
I bet it is.
knee tuck
We don't got
jumps
those
on
level
boards.
jacks on those RVs.
Yeah, no kidding.
I don't want to go through the floor like
All right, so
People drive by the RV and they see it just shaking.
like, hey, they party hard in there, bro.
So Tyler's been with DD for quite some time now, and has it always been RV stuff? Or no, it was
Man, I was selling Frisbees before we made Frisbees.
yeah.
Out there hustling.
I set up like some of my favorite accounts are like Mike Solt. I sold him Gateway Frisbees and Discraft Frisbees, and Dan Brown up in Oregon, and those guys are like some of my favorite dudes now still. And I was some of my early accounts were selling Frisbees out of my house in Florida. Like talked Jeremy into trying to let me sell some Frisbees, and I was like, well, people don't buy that many Frisbees.
You convinced them.
Yeah.
I did. But yeah, so this will be my 6th year driving an RV, like six years of driving an RV.
Yeah.
Doing
Now you don't do it nonstop all year. You like to do it in like little.
I used to be seasonal because I worked on a boat, but I've been full time now for 2 years. Like I quit working on the boat over a year ago. Like I just drive an RV.
So what did you do on the boat?
I was a captain and crew member on a dolphin tour boat, a parasail boat, a snorkel boat, a banana boat.
Good Lord.
You know what a banana boat is?
No.
It's like a giant.
Is this like a big inner tube?
It's like a big inner tube.
Okay.
It's like shaped like a banana, and you pull it around out in the ocean, and people bounce around. And it was the scariest thing I ever did. Of all the things I did on the water, driving the banana boat.
Why was that scary? People flopping off?
Oh man, they bounce around. Like I had a girl's earrings get ripped out of their ears. People like hit each other in the face. Like you're hugged up. I was about to give Jeremy a big hug.
This sounds dangerous.
It was. I was terrified the whole time I'd be driving the boat. I was like, please just don't crack each other in the face. It's just, and it happened like all the time. They bust each other. So I didn't like that one. That banana boat. If you ever see banana boat rides, $15, just pass. You're like, oh, it's a good deal. They might be fun. Look, they're having a great time, man.
And that was out in the waves.
Out in the Gulf. Yeah. So I live in Fort Walton Beach. Yeah. And we talk about this sometimes, but so we're right there in the Gulf of Mexico. And so all this was on the bay and in the Gulf, and I would do that during the summertime. Spring break to Labor Day.
Right.
And then when we would come out of season, it was like when it started, I remember like having a conversation with Jeremy and Clay and the guys, and it was like we had an RV up in Kansas. I think we'd maybe just gotten Steve-O's or not quite, or we're getting ready to get Steve-O's, the Chasing the Chains one. And so the old blue one was just sitting inside the warehouse, and it's snow and ice, and we just kind of stopped doing stuff in the wintertime. I was like, well, what if I drove it down to Mobile and, take it down south? And it was maybe like a 12-stop tour. I like drove down. We did some stops and, small towns in Arkansas and stuff. And then came back and met probably Paige and Eric for their fundraiser that year. And that's when we, like the launch, Paige was going this way, and, we were doing this thing, but they had still done their fundraiser together. So that was like the culmination of that first tour. I get the time hops every now and again. That's kind of fun.
So what's
it's a long time ago.
I remember that event.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in driving an RV or being an RV and being on a boat, other than the water, obviously?
There's a lot of similarities, really. Like it's when we made the move, let's say we, my wife and I, when we made the decision to make the move to full-time RV,
Yeah.
the argument or the not argument, but the point was when I was on the boat, it was leave the house at 6 a.m., get home at 8 or 9 p.m. So I was gone all day.
On the boat.
Yeah. Like
Okay.
just out there, just
Yeah.
gone, sun up to sundown and then traffic. And I was like, well, I don't even see the kids. Like I don't see the kids. Like I'm gone when they're asleep. I'm gone when they're asleep when they get home. Maybe the oldest is still awake, but going to bed when I get home.
Yeah.
And that was, we call it 100 days of hell. And it's longer than that, but it's
Right.
100 days of make all of it right now.
Wow.
It's you got to work. So it was 6-7 days a week, 80 hours and grind. And I'm getting older. There was days where I was like, man, my legs hurt pretty bad. And, the last season I was on the boat, it was ice baths twice a week and,
Wow.
really trying to take care of my body. And it worked a lot. Like it helped a lot, but it was hard. So when it came time to get on the RV, it was get on the RV and I'm still gone. I did the math here recently. I think I did 105 to 110 days on the road.
Yeah.
Travel and everything, and like 85 days where we pulled everything out of the RV. And that, for me and the other guys do what they do, but that's what I did. 85 days of like emptying the RV and like putting all the tables out.
So I'm still back on the boat. So we'll get to the RV.
It's weird. It's weird. It's cool.
So tell me some of the coolest animal. Have you just seen any animal that like people wouldn't normally see when you're on a boat?
Yeah, dude. The fun stuff like you would see, like you always see dolphins, and it's magical every time. Like,
did you see Flipper?
Oh, we told the tourists it was.
You lied to me?
Yeah.
To me?
To your mom. It's way more fun. Like to see Donna, to tell Donna anything and see her reaction would be the best. That was,
Really, Flipper? And she'll go with him
all day. All day.
Awesome.
You could get to dinner that night and tell her it wasn't true, and she'd be like, oh. But yeah, some of the fun stuff are like spotted eagle rays. They're giant like rays that will jump up out of the water and just like glide through the air. And spinner sharks are super awesome too, and we would see those often. And they're kind of pack hunters, and when they breach, like they chase their prey from the bottom. When they breach, they literally are like corkscrewing through the air, and that would probably be the coolest animals.
Wow.
I mean, you see it all. Tons of sharks, huge.
You would see sharks?
Thousands. They're huge schools of sharks. Like they would school certain times a year, and we would see 100 sharks right like inside the area of this parking lot.
Wow.
And they would just be schooled up, and you'd be like, look at the sharks. And people they would freak out.
Yeah.
How big?
3 to 5 feet when they would school up like that. I mean, you get into some bigger ones. Like, you see it all. It's all out there.
So I imagine with going on a boat, I know that one of my fears of going on a boat is getting seasick.
Yeah.
Do you have any stories of people not realizing they're seasick until they get out on the water?
Dude, daily. Like you would tell folks, and it's generally it's not bad, but some folks are just way more susceptible to seasickness than others, and it's just going to happen.
Yeah.
Like you do everything you can. There's certain spots on a boat where you can sit to where it's going to be better. You'll be less susceptible to seasickness, but most time, if you're going on a dolphin cruise, what you do is you drive the dolphins, you stop, and then so you're just like a bobber.
Yeah.
You're just kind of floating around, and then you start they get a little sideways. I only got thrown up on once. So that was good.
Well, that's enough for me.
Yeah. Most of the time they got it over the side. Like, I had a whole spiel. I just roll, rocking boats, start feeling green, take it over the side, just doing all these things. But one time, sometimes people, they're trying to be like cool.
Yeah. That thing affected me. Yeah.
With my lady, man. I'm good. We good. And then it's like, you just see them kind of, they're like, everybody's having fun and taking pictures of dolphins. You got one dude over here. He's like, not having a good time. You're like, this guy's it's not going good.
He's about to blow.
Yeah. So you'd like hustle them back, and sometimes they'd hit the trash can, and sometimes they'd take it over the side like they're supposed to. But the one time that I got thrown up on, I was a little kid, and we were sitting there, and I was just kind of looking at dolphins and having fun. And all of a sudden I hear like, and it's like black. And I look down and it's just like all over the side of my leg, just like down my leg. And it's like, oh God, that was the one time. But I built the dolphin phone. That was pretty fun.
Wait, okay. What? Tell me about a dolphin phone.
Sometimes you just it's summertime and you're grinding, and you've told the same story 44,000 times, and talked about, this is where Michael Jordan lives and that kind of thing. And he doesn't live there, but you tell him that. And,
I hope none of your past boat customers are disc golfers listening.
This
Donna is extremely upset.
Donna Rusco has been lied to.
The best one is Garth Brooks. Like, it is so renowned among boat captains and crew members that Garth Brooks has a house on the harbor. Like we would the music's playing on the boat, and I could look at my captain and I could like give him the point, and he would hit the button on his phone, and Thunder Rolls would start playing, and they'd be like, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get your cameras ready. Over here on the left-hand side, you see the yellow stucco house with the blue roof. You hear the song, you know what I'm going to tell you next. Mr. Garth Brooks' home is right here beside us." And everybody's like, "Whoa!" And they got their cameras out there taking a picture. And if there'd be somebody like outside, and they're like, "Oh, is that him? Is that him?" And like the guy would like wait, it's just like some tourist or something. It's like a VRBO. And he's like, "Oh, hey guys," and we're all just like taking pictures.
That's hilarious.
You can Google Garth Brooks Destin.
Now wait a minute, the dolphin phone. What was the dolphin?
Oh yeah, the dolphin phone. So you see him all the time, and it's great and it's fun. But I was like, man, I'm gonna build a dolphin phone. And I was telling some of the other guys that, the crew members, and they're like, yes. So I went to Home Depot and I bought some PVC and I like made a little T-bar handle, and it went so you could sit on the deck of the boat and put it down in the water, and it had a little mouthpiece. And I would talk to the dolphins, and the dolphins would breach, and the people would be like, "Oh my gosh, oh my gosh." And I'm like, hey, Yes, and then I'd let them use the
start handing over that.
Oh, baby!
Start handing that tip money over.
Yep.
Yeah, this guy's the dolphin talker.
Yeah, the dolphin whisperer.
I'd let the little kids, talk on the dolphin phone, and the parents would be taking their pictures with the, with the mate. Susie got to use the dolphin phone. It was awesome.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So now, of course, in the RVs, we don't have any dolphin phones
or seasickness.
Or seasickness. Yeah, I hope no players are throwing up on you at your events.
On the RV.
So, but now you're out on the RVs and you're traveling all over the place to run events. So tell us a little bit about what are these type of events that you run?
Yeah, it's changed over the years. Like we talked about, started off really trying to introduce the product line to people. We wanted to communicate our brand to folks that hadn't necessarily had a chance to meet us and hang out with us. Jeremy and I were just talking about, how things have changed from Texas and how we just used to go to Texas, and it was the same show that we have always run. We wanted to be consistent, always deliver a quality product, but we had a huge audience. Obviously, the disc golf audience is massive. It's the whole country. We just hadn't been there yet.
Right.
So we wanted to bring the product line to the people. I think we talked about it last time. We had 4 discs. I went on the road with 4 Frisbees to introduce to folks.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did that, and it was for a couple of years at least, probably 2 or 3 years. I think it was until J-Ray came on board that we were dynamic discs only in terms of the events that we were hosting. In most cases, it would be a 2-disc challenge.
Yeah.
And you could choose from the DD molds. Like we were really trying to get our brands out there. And since as we've changed and grown our relationship with Latitude and Westside, now it's any 2 discs from all 3 brands. I mean, folks can get, because we want to communicate the quality of all of our products, and the message that we have and that we have with Latitude is so strong. We want to build everybody up, and in this family, in this trilogy family.
So, so right now, I know it's kind of morphed where, like you said, the 2-disc challenge where you paid a certain price, you got 2 discs.
Yep.
And now I think you've got, is it going to change even for 2018?
Yeah, it's really become even more full spectrum, full spectrum in terms of what we can host and how I work with, speaking a lot for myself. The other guys have things they like to do, but we've done a lot more full-on tournament hosting where we're the tournament directors working with local clubs, running sanctioned events, non-sanctioned events, Southern Nationals events, PDGA events, where we're actually running tournaments, where it was before we didn't do that. They can, tournament club members and presidents that can bring us in to run payout. They can bring us in to help facilitate the event. Like we've been doing it a long time. Like we can really help out a lot. And then there's other times like when we roll into 2018, I'm going to go to work with a club in Tampa, St. Pete, and we're going to do a tournament. I'm just going to vend and run a Flex Start C tier on Friday and hang out. And then I'm going to do 3 glow nights. Like we're going to do glow nights with clubs. During the summer, we do club events, and we'll go out and we run 2-disc challenges or dubs or that kind of thing. And it's the winter time. It's dark, unfortunately. So everybody's doing glow this time of year. So we're going to go for the first time ever. I got a glow flyer, and we're going to go do glow events, and kind of do some different glow events, and a lot of C tier series. The South 64 series is really what we're getting into as we enter the winter. David and the Latitude crew are up there in the far north. They're getting about 4 hours, I think, of sunlight a day, probably this time of year.
Yeah.
And whenever we would get together around GBO or Worlds or what it was with the Latitude guys, they would all just couldn't believe I lived in Florida. And they love Florida. And they want to go to Florida, and they want to be in Florida. And
they're still house shopping.
There you go. Exactly. I talked to David about when they're coming down because I'm scheduling events. You guys are going to be here. We'll build it around you guys. And it was we just love it and we want to do something more with it. And I was like, well, we can run a series. And so we started working on the South 64 series last year. We officially branded it as the South 64 series.
Right.
Latitude was 100% behind it. Gave us 1,000 shirts just to use however we wanted. Just put these in player packs, let people know that we love, the South, that we want to, we wish we were there 100%. If they could close down that plant and just come down for the winter, they would.
I bet they would.
It wouldn't work out so good for us over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now, with the South 64 series going forward this year, I'm trying to grow it even more, bring it to more people, maybe elevate the level of the events even higher. Whereas last year we were kind of dipping our toe in there with C tiers and non-sanctioned. And now we've been able to, as we've done, continue to develop those relationships with folks, make them stronger, get those bonds even stronger to where we can elevate the event to even a more, just a more substantial experience for the player.
I get it. So sometimes on here on the show, we get questions about running events. So obviously you've ran a lot of events and you just kind of come in and you call the clubs, get it organized. What advice would you give to people that are stationary in their town and they want to get an event ran? What advice would you have for them?
Reach out to Tyler.
Yeah.
Even before reaching out to you to have you run it, like what advice do you give? In other words, what I'm thinking is that, we get questions that people say, I want to host an event. I want to run an event in my town and not necessarily have Tyler there at all. What advice do you give to these people that don't know how to get an event started, since this is what you basically do for this time period? This is what you do. You organize events.
It's a broad question. If they're the club president or if they have a club in town, they're certainly, they're going to work with their club. But the way I approach it always is when I have my point of contact, I was like, all right, great. We have a date that we would like it would work for us. You look at your calendar. This works. Now we got to make sure it's cool with the city. I've been shut down before and it's not fun. So we got to make sure we're cool with the city, whether it's the Parks and Rec or the city. So you want to go talk to your Parks and Rec or whoever governs that course. That it could be a state park, could be a city park, could be a private course, and figure out what they need.
Right.
Certain municipalities and courses have different different things they want. Some of them need insurance, some of them don't. Some of them need a per player fee, some of them don't. It's just so you want to make sure you're in alignment with that local government so that disc golf doesn't get in trouble.
Yeah.
So that's first for me. I was
Sure.
like, let's not get in trouble. Let's not give anybody a bad name. And then from there, and then the planning comes in. I would say, don't call me. Call Derek. Derek, getting it's a sponsorship at Dynamic Discs, and Derek is awesome. Like he knows what you need to do. Like he can help you with what kind of player pack stuff you want to do. How disc, what size of event are you gonna think you're gonna have? Are you gonna have 40 folks, which is cool.
Yeah.
Or are you gonna have 400 folks? Derek can help you with all that. And then
Which is cool too. 400 folks.
100%. 100% cool. It's a lot of fun. If you're ready for it, go for those 400 ones.
Yeah. Not your first event.
No, let's not go for that first. But yeah, there's a lot of different opportunities out there for you. I would say we're getting ready to probably talk about, we just had Grow Disc Golf Day. We're going to have the Trilogy Challenge come back. I know, Bobby, you talk about it all the time. That's a great opening event for somebody to start with.
Absolutely.
So, but how do you typically get the word out? How do you let people know you're running an event?
The $1 million question. What answers did we come up with just 5 minutes ago, Jeremy?
We're doing
disc golf scene, social media, local point of contact, more local contacts.
That's it. I mean, there
flyers on the local kiosk, which
with marker written on them. It used to be like we were just talking about, Jeremy and I. We literally just finished talking about this: how to get better and to improve, to make sure that everybody can know that we're here.
Right.
And that's Bobby. You've tried to help me with it for years now.
Yeah.
It's that I can't figure out what the answer is to make sure every single person doesn't miss it. Like, there's nothing drives me more crazy than a week after I'm in some town, there's a message on the Chase and the Change page that says, when are you coming to Indianapolis?
Right.
And we're like, fudge popsicle sticks.
I just left there
2 days ago.
Yeah, literally you just left. So I don't know what the answer is.
I mean, you just got to do what you got to do.
Right.
So you're never going to reach anybody. I mean, I don't remember what GBO year it was, but Jeremy come up to me and I felt like I think the blood rushed down out of my face when Jeremy said,
I know where he's going.
Someone was at Glass Blown Open and said, where can we buy discs? And Jeremy says, well, we got a store over on Commercial. And the guy was like, what? You have a store here?
It was 2 guys at the country club eating lunch. on Saturday, the last day, and they asked that question. And I was like, "Are you serious?"
And so, of course, Jeremy comes to me. He's like, "Are we saying enough? Are we telling people?" I'm like, "Yes, we tell people we have a store."
How do you come to Emporia and not know the
But how do you
dynamic
come-
disc
Were they here for
store
the tournament?
has a
They were disc golfers?
They were in the tournament. They
And I'm not trying to make fun of them. I just, it is what it is. People, no matter how much you say whatever, the job is never done of telling people about your event. So that's, I guess, what I'm getting. That the point on that for the listeners is, the job is never done telling people what's going on, what's happening. It is never. You can't just post it on Facebook and say my job is done. No, it's never done. So
right, help me with this, Bobby. All right, we got the media team over here.
Yeah.
Right. So, is the best thing to do when an event's created, like you're trying to promote your tournament, whether it's us or this local TD you're talking about, is it the best thing to do for a social media algorithm to have friends share it, the club share it, our shares what make it happen? Do you need to do a live video too? Like, what makes social media happy?
yes,
Do it all.
All of it.
All.
Never stop promoting.
Oh,
Never
wait,
stop.
more, even more.
Even more. Tell your friends, have your friends share it, post a live video, post a picture, there are millions of things fighting for your attention. And so you just got to figure out where you can put your stuff in there to get their attention.
There you go.
So all of it.
Help a brother out. You see him coming to your town. Share it for me.
Share it, share it, tell people about it.
Add Ty as your friend.
Exactly. Make a Facebook video about how you're going to this event.
So you've been.
Those are some of my favorite. When people show up and they do the live, they do a live feed and pull you in or pull in the other RV drivers and say how excited they are to be at the event, and just all the plastic, because it's, for a lot of the people, it's more plastic than they've ever seen at one place at one time. And that's some of my favorite stuff. And seeing your live feeds. But,
yeah, I mean you're like a rolling store, and like not every place has a pro shop. So you've been to a lot of different places, Tyler.
Yep.
Tell us some of the. I know you've got all kinds of stories.
All right.
I want to hear
feel
like
bad. Okay, you asked me this question last time I was here, and I went back to that town about that I was scared. I was there recently, and my friend the TD, he was like, "I heard you on the podcast."
Oh, so you talked about it. What did he say?
And he was like, "As soon as Bobby asked you that question, I was like, he's going to talk about Birmingham." I was like, I started melting when he was telling me the story. I was like, oh God. He was like, I knew you were going to say that story. I was like, I know, it's the scariest story I've ever had. But I have lots of good stories. Like there's so many,
tell us another story.
There's so many good places and people out there. I mean, I love getting, I get tired, but I love getting out there and getting to be with the people and just hearing their stories about what's going on. Some standout ones, some very like vivid impressions that have been made upon me. The Poconos, Pennsylvania, that whole crew and the culture that's been created right there in that little area. And it's Mike Solt has a lot to do with it, Mr. Disc Golf, but it's more than Mike. It's just, they're all like, everybody has always been so nice to me when I've been there.
Yeah.
And they support, let's be honest, that's the Northeast. That's old disc golf.
Yeah.
And we talk about old disc golf, you got to talk about the founding companies, and they have a large presence in there.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of old school disc golfers that are still trying to figure out, if we're cool, if we're good,
Right.
Do I really like this guy that, laughs and talks and, and does all this stuff.
Runs at 3 a.m.
Right, exactly. He seems like he might be a little high strung. And, but yeah, so just to go in there and then to see the friendly people and the friendly faces and the welcoming, what stands out is when people help me unload and pack up.
Yeah.
That lets me know that these are good people.
Yeah.
If you got to go somewhere, you can go home. It's cool. But when you get a half a dozen or 10 folks that stick around to help you break down, and they just are there and those are those kind of people. Like that's those kind of people. When I go to a spot and then there's lots, but this one just like stands out. And then another spot that stands out is like the first time I ever went to Oregon and just saw that's another real tight knit family. Like those guys are Dan Brown, the Disc Golf or Die crew. There's little armies, like Steve-O's got his army, like this little crew, and that's how Steve-O started. And there's when you run into those towns, you're like, oh man, they're healthy, they're having fun, they're happy, but they're working hard and they're doing it together. That's when I get really excited.
So do you see a difference in the way people like disc golf jargon, or where they talk about disc golf from different regions to different regions? In other words, I know like a lot of times, like we've talked about with the word stable and stability,
Mhm.
how some people, when they say stable, they mean something that's going to go hard left. Well, the way I think of it, that disc is overstable. And if it goes to the right, it's understable, and stable means it's more straight. So is there, like, do you travel to different places and do you talk to people and go, oh, okay, this is a little different than what I'm used to that when I was over in this part of the States?
Give us your best Cajun. I'm being serious though.
And this is love. This is love, right? This is love. My friends down in Bro Bridge and Lafayette, they know that I like that so much. Like they my friends. I just had time hop. We were down there last winter in December, and I caught my first shoe pick. And they're like, Tyler, you caught a shoe pick. And I was like, oh, I don't even know what you're saying. It's a shoe pick, and it looks like a fish that has a face with like 2 teeth on the front, and it looks all goofy. And I picked it up, and I have a picture, and I'm scared of this fish. I'm like holding it out like this. And like, Tyler, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, man, I'm holding this fish. And they're like, oh, let me call my mom. She wants to make a shoe pick soup. Let me hold on the fish. And I'm like, Scotty, I don't want to hold on to this fish.
Is the shoe pick overstable, understable,
right,
stable?
And they then we go to do the 2-disc challenge, and I'm standing there, and Chris is with me, Wiggins is with us, and Chris, this is like Chris's first trip to the South, and I'm like, man, it is going to be so good, you're going to love it. And we get there, and we're at the course, and this is good people. They just have an accent. It's just their accent. Sure. They're just normal, just having a good time.
Right.
And these 2 little kids, they come up with their grandma, and this little boy, he said, I need one to go left. He's like, I need one to go left. And we had the test drive bins, and I was like, no problem, bud. So we had like, this is like a 12-year-old kid, and he's got his like 7-year-old little brother and his grandma. And they like, okay, you go over here and he's going to throw the frisbee, and I'm going to stand here and watch him. And this is the grandma. And I'm like, all right, yeah, no problem. And the little kid, the 12-year-old and his little brother are standing there, and they're like, I don't know, 8 feet in front of the table. So they're just right here. You know, they're throwing it 40 feet. And the kid goes, shoo. And the little brother goes, that went right. And he goes, that left.
So they can't.
So it was overstable and understable, huh?
It was. So it's really just on your outlook on life. That's what it comes down to.
It's your outlook on life.
Stable or understable.
So what advice would you give to people that haven't, isn't too familiar with disc golf and stuff like that? How do they figure out what works for them? I mean, what have you observed that works good?
Watch, is this disc right for you?
Yeah, that's a great thing to do. Like it really is. I'm not a good disc golfer.
Sure you are.
I love disc golf. I say it all the time. It's like my canned answer. I love the parks and the people, man.
Mm-hmm.
I do love going and throwing the course and running and being in the nature. And I do love, but I don't throw 400 feet.
Right.
If it's downhill, I can throw at 350.
Yeah.
But I like throwing them. I have fun. It's so when someone approaches me, it's probably different than when someone approaches Jonathan Ray, or Chris Wiggins, who these guys throw 500 feet. They can talk about discs in a different way than I do. If I talk about discs, I'm great with the new people,
right?
Because we're going to have fun. We're going to talk about the discs. We're going to get them in a disc that's comfortable for them, that's going to keep them in the fairway. It's going to be understable because is this disc right for me is great. I love it when the big boys get up there and they're throwing enforcers, and it's awesome to watch. You talk about it all the time. It's really cool to watch,
right?
But man, let's have fun. Let's throw some slower stuff. Let's try. Why don't you go? Take the. You don't get to do this all the time, but just take this out and throw a few holes and stay in the fairway and be like, whoa, I made 2 birdies and I've never made a birdie on that hole because you've been trying to throw, something a little beefy.
Yeah. Enforcers instead of.
Yeah, Ricky throws felons, so I want to throw a felon.
Yeah.
No, that's not always the answer. Just because the big guys are throwing it, then you need to be throwing it. For sure.
So for me, it's like, let's come talk. Let's talk about what you're throwing now. Let's reverse engineer that.
Yeah.
Tell me about what's going on. What makes you happy when you're throwing a disc? What's your favorite disc? That's like my favorite question.
Mm-hmm.
Someone's like, what should I get? Well, what's your favorite disc in your bag right now?
And what's it fly like for you?
Yeah. Are you making it? Are you releasing it on such an Anheuser? And it's going like, doing this giant S
right?
Because you're forcing it to. Well, let's do a couple test drive throws. and let's throw some stuff flat and see what happens.
Yeah, that's one of the best things about the RVs is your guys' test drive
Yeah.
bins where you can go out there and throw essentially anything that we have in the lineup.
And not every plastic, but every mold's available.
Yep, get an idea for what discs fly like what and why you should get them, and it's definitely a benefit.
Yeah. Can you imagine, like, when we were coming up, like, if you went to a tournament and you could have thrown every Frisbee from a manufacturer? Oh, that sounds awesome. Crazy. It sounds crazy, but we do it every day. So yeah, I tell people all the time, look, if you can't, like, if you have your lunch break, come on out and just like have a look around, throw some shots, just take a look. That way, even if you can't buy something today, at least then you know what you will need from, dynamitist.com.
All right.
When payday rolls around. I hear that all the time. Man, payday's tomorrow. I'm like, sweet. Let's throw some test drives.
That's funny. So, all right. So the big thing is the South of the 64 series that's coming up now. Is this like a 2-month thing, 3-month thing, or is it just kind of roll with the punches?
The way I'm approaching it this year, because we have so many more shirts. Last year I finished
2,000 shirts.
2,000 shirts.
What I heard earlier.
2,000 shirts that are going to be dispersed around.
Can I get one? Do I got to come to an event?
Well, actually, they're going to come to Kansas first. So if you dip in there, I will never know. Okay. I'm not going to hand 1,999. Looks a lot like 2,000. I should eyeball it. But it's. I anticipate it running January, probably into that June. So we'll call it like the first 6 months of the year for the South 64, because then I'll start venturing north again. Oh. Like north for a southerner is like Tennessee, right. South Carolina, North Carolina. So I'll go north. I'll have to come home for GBO. We'll be at Bowling Green again this year, of course. But my official northern, and I guess can we kind of announce that we're changing our RV program again? So like, of
course, it's always changing.
Sure, it's always changing.
Probably should let the media people know. Yes, that'd be nice to know.
We're kind of tinkering. We constantly try to improve, and we're going to try to improve in a way this year that is going to put the RVs in a region. Like, gotcha. Matt Lloyd, we've been receiving. We constantly receiving. You guys are doing a great job. Send messages. Like I said last time, you can message Chasing the Chains. You can email us. You can, like we said before, all forms are the best. Like, we had a tournament that was in our Chasing the Chains messages that I was talking to Matt about, and it disappeared. Like, I was like, where did that one go? He's like, I can't see it either. I was like, well, I'm on my phone. Can you see it on your computer? And it vanished. So things happen. So hit us in multiple different ways. Wow. It's like, so don't be afraid to, private message us, direct message us, right. To do anything. You're not bothering us. This is what we do. We're happy to help when we can. We can't be everywhere all the time. But yeah, so Matt is going to work the Midwest, right? Is going to be the game plan there.
Yep. Focused in Arkansas, Kansas City scene, maybe a little bit in Missouri, and really those surrounding states. Yep. Iowa.
Yep. And then Jonathan, J. Ray, he's more of our Pro Tour guy. Like, he kind of skirts along with the Pro Tour series a lot of the time. And I assume that's probably what Jonathan's idea and goals are for this year too. And then, we've got Paige and her new fun van, super cool.
Fun van?
Yeah.
It's probably not what we want to call it.
Did you see the artwork on that yesterday by chance?
No.
Oh, it's looking pretty sharp.
If you follow, I think she's been posting on her Facebook page or somewhere. Every now and then she'll post pictures and stuff like that.
I got van envy.
The inside work that they're doing to make it a traveling type van.
Yeah, I think it's going to be sweet.
It's going to be nice. Yeah, she posted on her Snapchat. I think only on her Snapchat, but she said something about, I had to go get more speakers, and they were putting more speakers. I'm like, this is going to be the
might be the fun van. The jam van. There you go.
Van.
Yeah, Ricky's getting a van too.
What?
So Ricky and Paige will be touring around as they're in between events, doing the Luck of the Draw doubles events. And of course, we did 3 of those last year, I believe it was, and they were just a lot of fun and a lot of passion there with them and the players. So super cool stuff with those.
I gotta get those 2 to Bowling Green.
Who
wouldn't 1,000 people to have a chance to play with Paige and Ricky? That'd be fun.
Seems pretty smart.
Be good. You guys, Paige and Ricky, you know you're watching.
Yeah, right. They don't.
Private message me.
See you at Bowling Green. Let Ty know so we can help organize some stuff.
So, but now you're going to concentrate on what region for the south of the 64?
Southeast. Yeah, southeast. And if there's an opportunity to, it's pretty darn hot in July and August and September. So you may see me around the Mason-Dixon line. Okay. That'll be the north for me. But I won't. unfortunately, I probably won't be in Maine this year.
Mm-hmm.
I won't be in the Pacific Northwest. I won't be in Minnesota or Michigan.
Yeah.
Wisconsin, but we will be, like, we, the greater we, the family will be, whether it's Jay Ray or
right.
Paige, Ricky. We love those guys too, but it's just we've got to find a way to just be better and improve.
Yeah.
And that's something we're trying this year.
Sure.
It's always been a little different, and that's what we're at.
So, like you said, make sure you follow on Facebook, Chasing the Chains, and you can get more information. And then, of course, you follow Dynamic Disc and on Instagram and Facebook. We'll make sure that you guys stay connected with Chasing the Chains and what's going on there. Then, do you guys just have the Facebook page, right, to reach?
Yep.
Okay.
We don't have any Instagram, no Twitter.
Is there any email or anything just in case someone's not on Facebook?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love it if you sent emails. That's a good way for us to keep track of stuff. You can email me at just Tyler@dynamicdisc.com.
Okay.
You've got Lloyd with 1 L at dynamicdisc.com. You don't have to put the 1 L in there, but it's spelled LOYD.
Yeah.
At Dynamic Disc, and J Ray is J Ray. Wiggins is Wiggins at
Absolutely.
dynamicdisc.com.
So yeah, if you're one of those people that don't want to be on Facebook, you can email them as well. But Facebook is the place to be. 1.4 billion people, can't be wrong. So 1.4, well, I guess they could be, but 1.4 billion people on Facebook. So that's where we have the most attention grabbing going on with Chasing the Chains. So Jeremy has been sitting over here really quiet.
Hey, I like it.
But I bet he has a lot of information.
I've been talking a lot the last couple of weeks.
What's going on with Jeremy? I mean, we've got 11 days left in 2017.
I can't believe it. Where'd it go?
It's gone. Doesn't matter where it is.
There's 11 days left. Yeah. Let's make the most of it.
I'm sure you've got a lot of end of the year stuff you're wrapping up, and then a lot of planning for 2018.
Yeah.
What can you share with our listeners? Anything?
Oh, how much time we got, Bobby? We're almost at our time limit, so it's been good.
We're gonna order that airplane yet?
It's been a good year. No, it's super exciting to see the RVs continue to evolve and do new things, and we're excited for the we'll call it adjustments that are being made with those. I think that's going to allow for a more balanced little work-life balance on the family front by not having the RV drivers out on the road for such extended periods of time. J Ray might be the exception to that one, as he goes and he just keeps going out there. But last night went to Kansas City, our Dynamic Disc Kansas City store. Got to see all the staff there, and I tell you what, they moved stores this year, just a couple doors down, and real clean, real professional, real bright looking store that's got just an awesome selection of really everything disc golf that we find to be the most popular. They don't in the Kansas City store and in the Dynamic Disc Carrollton store. It's not just the Dynamic Discs, Latitude 64 and Westside products that are carried. They carry more manufacturers than that to provide a complete pro shop, a little bit more well-rounded to support their areas. So a great dinner with them. We had the sushi boat come out at the sushi place, and that's always just a lot of fun. Been busy making some decisions for next year. A lot of stuff that we're looking forward to with the Westside Discs acquisition between Dynamic Disc and Latitude 64. There's been a lot of things happening there that we've been figuring out, and I know that Robert McCall has been working hard to perfect some of the changes that are taking place with the Westside team, and we're looking forward to making some announcements about the Westside team that's happening. And of course, we've been making team announcements for new additions to our family, which is super exciting. Yeah. We got some just great people and great players.
Now, hold on, you're moving along too fast.
Sorry, I mean, we're on a time limit. I thought.
No, not yet. No, we've got plenty of time. So let's talk about the Westside Discs acquisition. Now, if you guys have been paying attention, you know that Latitude 64 and Dynamic Discs purchased Westside Discs. Nothing is changing. I mean, well, there's some changes happening, which is
you can still get harps.
Yeah,
yes.
But those things aren't changing. You can still get your harps. You can still get your hatchets. That's for me. And you can still get, what's another big one that people love? I mean, I'm sure Warship is a big one that people love. But is there anything behind the scenes that you can tell everybody that to be looking forward to for 2018? That's a positive thing from this acquisition.
No,
okay.
Silence. No.
I mean, if there's not, if you
well,
can't.
of course, there's the new disc. So in April, Westside will be releasing their Warhorse, which is a enforcer type driver, as well as the Anvil, which is the most overstable mid-range in the Westside lineup, which is something that people are going to absolutely love. I think both those discs are going to be fantastic additions. And then the Maiden is the Trilogy Challenge putter, which is a putter feel that we really haven't had in any of the lineup. So that's another exciting addition there.
We can tell them it's a micro bead, right? Maiden.
Yeah, flat top, straight. I haven't thrown it enough.
I've heard, Chris Edson was telling me he thinks it could be a big deal.
That's awesome. I know it's David Berglund's disc he's been waiting like 25 years for or something, he said. So
yeah, he's pretty excited about that one. What about the team stuff? You said something about team. Are we just we're adding some new people to the Westside Disc team?
Yes. Now Kyle Webster has been the team captain over there for a couple of years now, and we're excited to give him a little bit more support, a little bit more knowledge, and see him get out there a little bit more and promote the brands and do some more media around Westside Disc, because that's one of the things we feel like we can definitely improve on is putting out more information, more media about the products and about the brand. And there's going to be some other announcements for team players. I don't know if I can officially announce anything yet, so I'll leave that for Robert to come on the show or whatever. I don't know exactly where everything's at, but we're excited about the Westside team. And again, I feel like that was a team that we lacked communication, getting them enough information and giving them the support that they need. So looking forward to that. There's going to be some new products. We are with Westside coming out with essentially our most affordable or most price point friendly basket that's going to be more lightweight, more portable than you can't just pack the Recruit up real quick, or you can't just pack the Marksman up real quick because they're heavy.
There's bolts involved.
Yeah, and granted, you can do it in like 2 or 3 minutes, but that 2 or 3 minutes just seems to take forever, and it takes up a lot of space.
In today's world, 2 or 3 minutes can be a lot.
I'm already lost on Facebook and turning it off at that point. Not really, but so there's that, and then we're working on one of the things that lacks in the Westside lineup is the bag lineup. Not a very strong bag lineup, and we're working on some developments there, and don't have anything solidified or firm there. But obviously, with to complete the bag lineup, we need to. It's got a long way to go there for Westside. So looking forward to that. And man, I don't know what else. Sparked my memory on.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to look back at 2017. I mean, we did a lot of traveling in 2017.
Let's do some more in 2018.
We're going to do a lot more. I know that like Eric and Tina have their new little Bag of Tricks event they're going to have.
Yes.
The first one they're going to do is January 20th in I can't remember what park, but in the Dynamic Disc Carrollton area. So I want to be able to go out. I want to go out there and film that and capture that. So, well, I guess
Can I come?
Huh?
Can I come?
You got to check your calendar.
Check your calendar. Send me a message. We'll take a look, see if I have room in the van. I
miss Texas.
I do too.
I haven't been there. In like what seems like forever.
Has it been forever?
It's been forever for me.
Piney Woods?
No,
he didn't go to Pineywood. Yeah, you need to go to Texas.
Man, it was just a bit. I think that I just got back from
You had
Sweden or something, and then we were going somewhere else like the week later. I don't know. It's been busy.
So 2017, just on the dynamic disc side, was like, it felt like a great year for Paige Pierce.
Oh my!
Just really awesome, and we're gonna do more at that. Ricky Wysocki, of course, won his second world championship. So I think it's gonna be another great year for Ricky Wysocki.
Talked to him last night on the phone, and he's still hungry.
He's still hungry.
He's still hustling, and he is going to. He's gonna be that guy to beat again.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Now I'm not saying he's not. I'm not saying our guys can't get him or anything like that. But I tell you what,
no question, he's the man to beat.
It's I mean, it's you gotta put together every round has got to be at the top. And that's the thing that I think a lot of the players. There's always that one round where they drop 2, 3, 4 strokes, and you just can't do that with the top guys on the leaderboard now, especially Ricky. So talk to him. He's getting ready to get his van purchased and get things moving forward, just like Paige. And that just does so much more for them on the road. When you see Ricky out on the road and he's in this small little, is that an SUV type thing?
A little coupe. I call it a coupe. Like a car SUV.
He's trying to carry a pop-up tent and tables and discs and shirts, and everywhere he goes, he sells out of stuff because he can't carry enough stuff. And, there's a line of, people waiting to help support Ricky, and Ricky provides, free clinics. And one of the ways that the players can support any of our players when they do clinics, we don't charge for our clinics, but the one thing that is the players really value and appreciate is when they, hey, call from Sweden, Svante over there. We'll call him back. But they, when players come up and buy their discs that they have on them and get their autographs, that's what really helps help support the touring professionals, because it's not an easy road out there. It's expensive to fill the gas tanks up.
But it seems to be getting better. Because we're getting them vans so they can travel much better to tournaments. So looking at 2017, what's maybe one or two milestones that you've seen just for overall the sport growth of disc golf? I mean, I'm sure you talk to a lot of people, you see a lot of things. Is there anything that sticks out in your mind of like, wow, in 2015 or 2014 or something that wasn't like that?
I think it's the availability of media.
That's exactly.
So many more events have made the commitment to putting media as a forefront of their event, bringing Joe Mez in, bringing Terry in, making the financial commitment to bring disc golf to the masses by bringing those guys in. So I just commend all those TDs, because these TDs across the country, like I know that Terry was just down in Fort Lauderdale with some friends of mine down there this last weekend, I think 2 weekends. Yeah, the 16th, last weekend. Man, time goes fast. And I was sad because I couldn't go, just didn't work with schedule. We were trying to get up here and stuff with the family. And that is and this happens every weekend. Whenever these guys are out bringing you coverage, that's that local club and that TD making a financial commitment to bring these guys in. So thank you for that, guys.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is going to evolve over the next 5-10 years is obviously the number of spectators that are coming out to watch these events it's very impressive to see, and it's only going to continue to grow. But one of the things I feel like we are fortunate to have right now is really accessibility to the top players.
Oh, yeah.
You can go up to Ricky and ask him for an autograph and shake his hand and have a conversation with him real quick and whatnot. And you can do that with Paige, and you can really do that across all players from all sponsors. It seems like you can get that for the most part. And as we go from a couple hundred spectators or 1,000 or 2 spectators at an event to where it starts to become 1,000 spectators at the average event, and then 5,000 or more at the big events. These players aren't going to be as accessible. One, because 1,000 or 5,000 people trying to get in touch of them. There's only going to be a couple of them that they can actually shake their hand and sign a disc.
Right.
And 2, the pressure is going to be higher. They're going to be playing for more money. They're going to be more serious. The putting areas and the practice areas are going to be off limits to people, because you're not, if you go try to talk to Ricky and Paige when they're trying to get warmed up and focused to win $20,000 or $30,000 in an event, they're not going to want to get their mind off of practice to win that to win that event. So those things are going to change, and really all players need to take advantage of this special time that we have in the sport, because as it grows, some of those things are going to change that we really just take for granted today.
Yeah.
It's not going to change overnight, but
Sure.
it absolutely is going to be something different. But the things that we like to do with like the Glass Blown Open is we have the pro panel where you can sit in the same room as the and a lot of the things that we do at Glass Blown Open, but the signature session at the end for the spectators and people that want to get the signed disc, that's a real cool opportunity to get a lot of the top players' autographs and see them face to face, just right in front of you. And yeah, a lot of exciting things happening there, as I feel like the sport just every year continues to get more and more solidified, more and more credibility. Of course, the Disc Golf Pro Tour and the National Tour are great to allow these players to go from town to town, and then it's the the supplemental towns when you go for, it's not a pro tour event every weekend, but then it's the other A tier that fills that gap where they're trying to do everything they can to have a really good payout to keep these pros on the road. So it's exciting to see where it used to seem like there was like 10 or 15 or 20 touring players and only like 1 or 2 RVs and one van out there or whatever, or 2 vans. And you can name those, you can look back and name those people that were doing that. To now where it seems like you roll up to a tournament and it's like, man, RV. Oh, they couldn't park. There's an RV over there too, And
when are we going to get our RV?
I looked at another one yesterday.
Did you? I know.
The RV fleet, man, we got a 2003, we got a 2004, we got a 2005. J-Ray, he's the lucky one. He's got the 2009. But yeah, those things got, I was talking to Steve-O.
Get some miles on them, huh?
They got 200,000 miles on that one. That one, that's not even necessarily a lot because they now pretty much just travel in Texas.
Yeah.
We had to get the engine replaced on the Chasing the Chains RV. So, these things are, it just almost feels like a ticking time bomb. I hate to say that, Ty, but
I've been so
they're
blessed.
They're like a trap.
Blessed.
Yeah, they're like a store on the road, but a very expensive store. I imagine.
Bobby, I know you did the research on RVs. So it's a house that rumbles.
Oh, it's constantly moving and shaking, so everything's falling. It's literally falling apart. It's just very, very, very slowly.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
God, they're so much fun though to be in.
Oh God, they are.
Yeah, they really are.
Let's go buy some more.
I'm ready.
I am.
I love that travel.
It's Christmas time. I'm wondering what's going to be in my stocking over here.
Yeah. I had a question. I forgot what it. But let's. So one of the things though I wanted to that's what it is. So you were talking about disc golf is getting bigger and we're making more strides, but there's still so many more people that haven't heard of it or they heard of it and they haven't given it a try yet. And I know that for a few years we had our Grow Disc Golf Day, but now we're really pushing it as any day could be. You don't have to pick a certain week to do Grow Disc Golf. Any day of the year can kind of be your Grow Disc Golf Day, where you grab a few discs, take a few friends out and introduce them to disc golf, and that's your Grow Disc Golf Day. But so to let people give people an understanding, when you go to some trade shows and you go to some meetings with some big stores where we're trying to introduce disc golf into the store, are we still getting people that are like, disc golf, what? Disc what? I mean, are some of them starting to catch on to understand it or at least have heard of disc golf?
Well, it's both. Obviously, more and more people know about disc golf, but it is still impressive. That's maybe the wrong word, but the number of people that don't know about disc golf still, it's all about getting in front of them by media, and obviously having courses in town where people are playing disc golf and they drive by, where the course isn't just tucked in a park where you can't see anything. That's what I love so much about like Hammond Park that we put in last year here in Emporia. Is it's right there by the college. I see people walking there and riding their bikes there quite often, and you can actually see the course and understand what's happening. And most of our courses in town, the Flint Hills Tech College course, you actually see people playing.
Yeah.
It's when you're in like state parks and you have to get in there, or highly wooded courses where you don't see people playing. That's makes it more challenging for people to actually see disc golf. And of course, it's not on ESPN unless somebody hits an ace. So we need to get more aces on camera.
Yeah.
And really, with that being said, Joe Mez productions are just phenomenal.
Yeah.
He does, with what budget he's working with and disc golf is working with, what he has done on the video side to capture tournaments and put those in 30-minute segments, which is about that amount of time that most people are comfortable watching 9 holes. I think we're close to. I think that can get on TV and people can watch it and be entertained by it, and it's just going to take the right person to see it. And I don't think that's far away at all. And as you see the charts and the graphs with disc golf that just keep these last 2-3 years for disc golf have really been explosive growth, and we always are excited about seeing the chart that's just kind of like been like that over the years, but now it's really like boom,
like the hockey stick.
Yeah,
thing
and
we got
almost
going on.
1,500 courses being installed last year alone. That is impressive. That's something that, and so I think we're at like 6,000 courses. I can't remember the exact number that are in the ground, and I think we're going to be at 20 to 25,000 by the year 2040. And
Wow.
that's going to be a lot of people that are out there playing disc golf. So good things on the horizon, and we're excited to be just a little part of it.
So another thing, as we're kind of wrapping up, I want to make people aware of, if you follow us on our Facebook page, we're going to have a real special treat with Jeremy Rusco here coming in January. And we're going to commit to it here on the air.
Oh, gosh, it's a real deal?
Now it's going to be
we
a
were
real
just
deal.
brainstorming about this. Now
This is real.
God,
so
I didn't know I signed that agreement.
We're gonna try.
I can't wait. I just can't wait to hear what he's going to say.
So we're going to try to schedule it for every third Monday of the month. And
we are scheduling
We
it.
are scheduled. Well, it's on my calendar and your calendar, so it's scheduled. But
Bobby even said if we're on the road,
we're going to take our special little Mevo live camera with us, and we'll do it on the road.
All right. And what is it?
Well, it's going to be kind of like a sit-down session with Jeremy. We're not sure if we're going to call it Catching Up with Jeremy, Dynamic Updates, but it's just going to be the opportunity for Jeremy to kind of connect with our followers and our listeners and things like that. So we'll sit down here in the studio, and we'll do a live Facebook video. It'll be about a 30-minute show where Jeremy will kind of give us some updates on what's going on with Dynamic Disc, what's going on in his head, what's he thinking about, doing, and then it'll be like wow. And then the last 10 minutes or so will be some question and answers from people asking questions, and of course Jeremy will answer it. So I'm excited about it. I think it's a really cool idea.
Yeah.
And so make sure that you follow us on Dynamic Disc's Facebook page so that you are notified when we do that, because it's going to be really cool. The first one, what was it? January 15th, I believe.
15th or 17th.
January 15th will be the first one, and we're going to shoot for every third Monday-ish.
Third Monday of the month.
Third Monday of the month.
So once a month.
Yeah, so once a month. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, there's so much stuff to talk about, and I tell you, it's tough to just get the entire staff informed on things that are going on. And,
yeah.
I mean, and things happen so fast in this industry, and with the growth that we're having, that this is going to be something fun, and we want to share as much information as we can with everybody to keep all the disc golf community in the loop on what's happening, and hopefully get more and more good things happening.
Yeah. So good stuff. Well, Tyler, thank you so much for coming on the show. We appreciate it. You coming down, getting yourself ready for the 2018 season of being on the road.
11 days away.
11 days
it makes
away.
Me nervous when you say it like that. I got to be in St. Pete in like 17 days then.
So exciting stuff. So again, Chasing the Chains Facebook page, or email Tyler J. Ray, Jray, or what was the other one?
Lloyd,
Lloyd, all of those at dynamicdiscs.com. Make sure you put that last S on there.
Happens.
Some people forget that, and then they get mad at us, and we find out, well, you didn't email the right place.
Bobby, put part of your job is accepting PayPal payments. And
is that part of getting the tournament ready?
Every third one is Dynamic Disc. I'm like,
I'll have to look. They wanted stupid money for that website a long time ago.
Oh, someone wanted so that it would redirect, huh?
Yeah.
Nope. No, we don't need it that bad.
That's what we said.
Yeah. So anyway, follow Chasing the Change. Reach out to Tyler, Matt Lloyd, or Jonathan Ray if you want to see them out in your area, or if you want to find out where they're at, and that way you can go be a part of the event. Yep. And when you do, go up and shake Tyler's hand and tell him thank you. Yeah. And try out a few discs. And then Jeremy Rusco, again, this is the third time you've been on the show?
Yeah, I'm
fourth.
No, I'm going to be vacant for a long time now.
He was like, you really want me to
It's been good. It's been good.
Yeah,
Thanks
been good
for
sharing
me.
stuff. One thing before we get off the air, a new thing we're doing, we just started. Make sure you're also following us on Instagram. Of course, we're doing our 2-minute warning. Did I tell you guys about that?
No, what's that one? I missed that.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. So when I post something on Facebook,
Get ready.
Okay.
You have to like and comment within the first 2 minutes.
Ooh.
Use the hashtag 2-minute warning or 2min warning, and you can win prizes.
Wow.
It's not going to be every post. I may tell you which post it is. I may not, or I might just pick a winner randomly. We already gave away a Nalgene bottle yesterday. I think I'm going to do one again today. Of course, you guys won't be listening to this until Friday, December 20. What is Friday? Anyone?
23rd?
What's today?
The 22nd. 22nd.
Today's the 22nd.
22nd.
Yeah.
So Friday 22nd, you'll listen to this. So make sure you follow us on Instagram. Make sure you follow and turn on post notifications, because we're going to have fun with that, giving away stuff. So that's your 2-minute warning right here.
2 minutes.
Like it.
2 minutes.
Like it.
Very cool stuff. Hey, I forgot one last thing for a teaser into our show coming up.
Oh, yeah.
One of the things that we are also excited about for next year is we've been working with Crispin and Hand-Eye Supply and Physics of Flight Bureau for years now. And a lot of people probably don't even know, like the Digital D's logo, the DD Owl. A lot of the early on logo concepts were done from Crispin, and man, that guy's just got some talent and a mind that
he's got something else going up there.
You have, and it's just so cool. Anyway, every year we continue to do more together, and we've been talking with Crispin a lot, and just excited to have an even stronger partnership with Crispin and Hand-Eye Supply and Physics of Flight Bureau for next year. So. Nothing officially that I could say or whatnot, but we're looking forward to getting behind Crispin's efforts and his design even more, and we'll share some more details on the next show.
Nice.
I can't wait.
We actually had one, I can't remember what episode, someone said, "Hey, what is Hand-Eye Supply?" And we were like, "You tell us. That's the mystery."
It's a fun answer. There's like a 3-paragraph response to that. That's fun to read.
Anyway, all right. So good stuff coming up. Hand-Eye Supply, more stuff coming out with them and Dynamic Discs. Tyler Searle will be on the road. Look out for him on Chasing Chains. Jeremy Rusco, we need to get you back running the company. So
bye now.
Thanks, guys.
I thought you were going to say back on the road. I was like, come on, let's go.
We'll see you next time, guys.